Derek Lunsford, the bodybuilding phenomenon who shocked the world. What happens when a bodybuilder refuses to accept the limits placed on him? You get Derek Lunsford, a name that went from relative obscurity to the very top of professional bodybuilding. And a physique that forced fans, competitors, and critics to stop and stare. But Derek's story isn't simply about getting bigger. It's about becoming dangerous when nobody expects you to win. For years, Lunsford built his reputation in the 212 division, where athletes were pushed to their absolute limits while fighting to maintain an incredible combination of muscle, conditioning, symmetry, and detail. Derek didn't just show up. He arrived looking like a problem nobody had solved yet. Then came the moment that changed everything. Derek stepped beyond the division where he had established himself and entered the open Mr. Olympia battlefield. And suddenly the question became, could a former 212 champion really stand among the biggest monsters on earth? The answer shocked the bodybuilding world. Lunsford didn't disappear next to the larger athletes. He stood out. His proportions, conditioning, back development, muscular density, and presentation made it clear that size wasn't the only weapon in bodybuilding. While some competitors brought overwhelming mass, Derek brought something different. Precision. Every pose became a statement. Every transition showed control. Every detail in his physique seemed designed to expose the weaknesses of his competition. And then came the historic breakthrough. At the 2023 Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford became the first former 212 champion to capture the Mr. Olympia Open title. Think about that. An athlete who had once competed under a weight limit had climbed all the way to the top of the unlimited division. That wasn't just a victory, that was history being rewritten. But what makes Derek so dangerous isn't simply his trophy collection. It's the mindset behind the physique. Bodybuilding is brutally unforgiving. You can train for years, sacrifice countless meals, endure exhausting workouts, and still walk onto a stage, knowing that one competitor might beat you because of a few millimeters of separation. Or a slightly better presentation. There is nowhere to hide. Under the stage lights, everything gets exposed. And Derek understands that better than almost anyone. His physique demonstrates a relentless pursuit of refinement. Thicker muscle, sharper conditioning, stronger posing, better balance, greater stage presence. He doesn't need to look like everyone else. That may be his greatest advantage. Derek Lunsford built his own weapon. His back became one of his most recognizable strengths, with tremendous width and density creating the illusion of an even larger frame. His shoulders had dramatic structure, while his arms, chest, and legs complete a physique built for the biggest stage in the sport. But perhaps the most shocking part is the evolution. Look at Derek's journey. you see something remarkable. He kept upgrading. The athlete who first gained attention wasn't the finished product. The champion kept developing. The champion kept correcting weaknesses. The champion kept pushing. And that is where Derek's story becomes bigger than bodybuilding. Because the real lesson isn't that he was born with an incredible physique. It's that potential means almost nothing. Without relentless execution. Thousands of people enter gyms dreaming about becoming extraordinary. Very few are willing to structure their entire lives around that dream. Training, nutrition, recovery. Posing, conditioning, discipline, repetition, again, and again, and again. That is the hidden price behind the spotlight. When the crowd sees the champion standing beneath the lights, they see the final product. They don't see every brutal workout that came before it. They don't see the mornings when motivation disappeared. They don't see the meals eaten when appetite was gone. They don't see the years of gradual improvement. They only see the monster at the finish line. And Derek Lunsford's rise proves something powerful. You don't need to start as the biggest guy in the room to eventually become the guy everyone is watching. You need vision, you need patience, and above everything else, you need the courage to keep going when the world doesn't expect you to win. Derek Lunsford didn't simply build muscle, he built momentum. He transformed himself from a rising 212 contender into a historic open-class champion and established himself as one of the most important figures of the modern bodybuilding era. And now, every time he steps on stage, the question isn't whether Derek belongs among the giants. He already proved that. The question is, how much further can this physique go? Because if Derek Lunsford has taught bodybuilding fans anything, it is this: never judge the final chapter by the first.